Croeso I gyfarfod o Pwyllgor Democratiaeth Cyngor Powys. Welcome to today's meeting of the Democratic Services Committee. I think we've got a fairly concise agenda today, so we shouldn't be too long in that sense. So, Carol, in the first instance, whose apologies have you got?
Chair, apologies from councillors Graham Breeze and Peter Lewis.
Great, Stefan, thank you. Minutes of the previous meeting. We haven't had a meeting for a while. Are everybody content with those minutes? I was happy with them, but I'm not sure if we got enough people here who can possibly just note them for now, perhaps, yeah?
Chair, I'd like to note my apologies for not having given my apologies at that meeting. I knew I wasn't able to attend, but I can see from those minutes that my apologies weren't noted, so I apologise for that.
No problem. Thank you, Angela.
Chair,
Okay.
Councillor Pete was present last time, and so you can accept his nomination.
Councillor Pete, are you content with that?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, apologies, Chair, struggling with the buttons on the bottom of the screen. Yes, no, happy with that, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, right. Declarations of interest. I don't think that's relevant for today's session, to be honest with you. And with that, therefore, we shall proceed to the main item today, which is the speaking of motions. We've touched on this before and it was brought up in last full council meeting. Clive, I presume you're leading us through this.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members. Members, you'll see from the report, which starts on page 7, that the purpose of this report is to discuss the time for speaking at meetings of council. Members may remember that at their meeting on the 9th of September, this issue was discussed then, and this committee agreed to propose to full council that the trial, which we'd been having for a couple of years, restricting time for 5 minutes for a proposer and 2 minutes for seconders and others, should be put to full council. That matter went to full council on the 13th of October, and full council took a different view and asked that the matter come back to DSC to consider. There was some concern expressed at full council that 2 minutes was not enough to allow for debate. The chair of this committee accepted that it should come back, and hence we are back here today. Members, this matter was supposed to have considered at the DSC meeting in December, but because it was again a single item agenda, we thought to have the meeting just before Christmas wasn't appropriate, and hence we're having it today. It is appropriate that we do this and have a recommendation so that we can proceed on this issue and make a new recommendation or the same recommendation, whichever it is, to full council at this next meeting. Chair, so I'm not sure if members will agree with me, but I don't think there was any dissent from full council about the 5 minutes speaking time for proposers. I think that was generally accepted. It was the 2 minute time that was cause for concern, and open to members for a discussion.
Thank you, Clive. Yes, that is my impression. I had the impression people were quite content with the 5 minutes. There was concern with the 2 minutes, and also, if I remember, perhaps concern about the length of time available for the portfolio holder to respond, if I remember correctly, isn't it?
Yeah. Chair, I'm getting a very heavy feedback my end. Is that a problem for others?
Yeah, same for me.
Yes, it's very echoey.
Yes,
Right.
Same here.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what you can do about that, but
So
anyway.
good we can hear you twice, Elwyn.
Is it? One's certainly enough, most people will say. Okay, well, can others therefore contribute towards the discussion about this paper? Any views?
Yeah, I mean, I can say, having seconded 2 motions, I found 2 minutes more than adequate. It means you do have to be concise in what you say, and you have to have prepared your speech well in advance. But my experience was that 2 minutes was adequate to be able to say what I needed to or felt I needed to.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Councillor Pleat.
Only 2 comments, thanks, Chair. I'm not sure how important it is, but I think in the background there, I think the date of their meeting in the report should be the 5th of September. But I don't know how important that is for a record. Sorry,
Apologies, Pete, if I got the date wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing, I think I'll just echo those comments as well. That I think, as I said at the time in our last meeting, that 2 minutes for a seconder sort of felt fine to me. But yeah, I think it should be 5 minutes for other speakers, the same as it is for a proposer.
Okay, thank you. Councillor David and then Councillor Danley.
Yeah, I don't think there's any appetite really for it to be remain at 2 minutes. I would increase it to 3 and leave it at that. I think 3 minutes would be ample. But certainly, there's no point going back with status quo.
Okay, 3 minutes for the seconder you're suggesting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
5 minutes and 3 minutes.
Okay. Councillor Danny.
I'd be intend to agree with the 3 minutes, because like when we're in County Hall, Gareth is trying to hurry some of us up. You know, obviously if you can get it done in under 3 minutes, all well and good, but if you've got the 3 minute option, I think that'd be a better choice.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Councillor Ian.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to keep it down at 2 minutes. However, I'd like to offer greater discretion to the chair of the full council meeting to increase that time if the subject matter was of a complex nature such that greater debate was required.
My gut instinct is the chair would prefer something fairly clear rather than leaving it to discretion of the chair, because what is important for one person might not be important for another person. That's my gut feeling. Have we lost Clive?
Chair, I'm still here. I'm having difficulty with my video, which is intermittently coming and going. So apologies if I come and go. I am here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, we've had some people obviously prefer keeping it 5 and 2. Others suggested we go 5 and 3. Where do we go from here? Clive, any views? Any?
Chair, I think that this is something which members of the committee need just to make the decision on. If we can't come to a consensus, there's going to need to be a vote. Yeah.
Well, one way of doing it, of course, if you have allocated 3 minutes, doesn't necessarily mean that people have to use 3 minutes, does it?
Exactly.
So it's easier than restricting it to 2 and then somebody being cut off. That's my gut instinct. Would that be a way of looking at it and therefore going for the 5 and 3 as a consensus? I don't know. And it all went quiet.
Councillor David made the point that perhaps going back to council with the same 5 and 2 might be a fruitless exercise, particularly since council has already rejected 5 and 2.
Yes, and also I think it's quite worth noting it wasn't one particular group. There was actually, that was a message I received from at least 2, if not 3 group leaders from different political persuasions. So I would concur with that. Sorry, somebody's hand was up, but Spanish now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, Chair. So I've just lost it a little bit, Chair, with the 2s and the 5s, and the 3s indeed. So are we suggesting 2 minutes for a seconder and 5 minutes for other speakers, or?
No, it's 5 and 3. If that was the idea.
5 and 3 was the idea.
Yeah. Because 5 and 2 has been rejected really by the council. So if you just go back with the same thing, we go round and around in circles. That's the danger. Well, is everybody happy with that idea that we go therefore with 5 and 3 and take the next full council?
So just to clarify on that, so the main speaker would have 5 minutes, the seconder would have 3, and
Yeah.
then my understanding is that the issue was for the portfolio holder to respond. So what are we saying for them?
3, I think is what's
Oh,
being
so they
suggested.
would be 3 as well.
So everybody
well,
else for 3, Councillor Angela.
Right, I'm with you. Okay, well, that's a compromise then, isn't it?
Yeah.
It brings the time down a little bit, but it
Yeah.
gives that leeway for those who felt it wasn't long enough.
And of
Yeah.
course, there will remain a discretion of the chair of council to be a bit lenient.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy to go with that, Chair.
I
Good,
think that's
okay.
covered all. Think that's covered all angles, really. To be honest, that's
Okay, and unless I hear otherwise, we'll take that as a consensus opinion and hopefully full council accepts that idea then, yeah?
Fingers crossed, Chair.
Yes. Okay. And I think that's all we have therefore on the agenda, isn't it? Right.
Yes,
Unless
Chair, thank you very much for convening this meeting. I thought it was really important to have a decision on this before we come to quite important council sessions coming up. So a recommendation will be put to council at the start of the next council meeting, and if accepted, it will then take be implemented rather immediately. So the next meeting of council will be 5 and 3 if council accepts that.
I'm just thinking aloud, because we've got a group leaders meeting tomorrow.
Yep.
Would it be an idea to just flag it up to them tomorrow so that?
Absolutely, Chair. You and I will both. You
Yes.
and I will both be there. We can raise this as an AOB.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, and then hopefully be just have a stamping by the time we get to full council. Yeah. Okay, if that's the case, therefore we'll call it a day. And diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you all for attending, and have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, members.
Diolch.